midnight and you guys are still up, ready to take notes, ready to learn, ready to take your life back in your own hands. You guys are spearheading one of the most massive movements that Arizona has ever seen. And that says a lot because I've seen some massive movements pop off here. So with that said, guys, give a round of applause for yourself. For those of you guys that are taking notes, a lot of respect. I'm gonna give you guys 150% of myself, right? Everything I've got, but I have two requirements. Requirement number one, look, the highest income earners in the room ready to take notes, guys. Requirement number one is that you're taking notes. Whether it's writing it down, whether it's videotaping in order to write it down later, whether it's audio recording it. I know we have visual learners, I know we have audio learners. However it is, you guys need to be taking notes because it's a proven fact that you're gonna forget the vast majority of what it is that you learned today if you do not write it down. Second thing that I'm gonna ask is that you teach every single new individual within your organization who joins your organization what it is that you're gonna learn today. Because in all honesty, it's not what it is that you can do, it's what it is that we can teach, because that's what's duplicatable. Duplication leads to momentum, and momentum leads to residual income that we're all looking for, right? So I need you guys to teach every single new individual, because that's your responsibility, guys. It's not your responsibility whether or not they become chairman, or whether or not they withdraw, or whether or not that they, make any type of money. No. You can bring a horse to water, but you can't make that horse drink, right? It is your responsibility to bring that horse to water, though. So with that being said, guys, I have a training that I've been doing all tour. And man, people are seeing some pretty impressive results off of it. And essentially what I want to do is teach you guys how it is that you can start a force of momentum. Abigail had the opportunity to hear this just yesterday out in the Utah area. But I want to teach you guys how it is that you can create a force of momentum within your organization. Two definitions I want you guys to write down. Definition number one is the word launch. Everyone knows YOLO, right? You only launch once. It's not you only live once. You only launch once. The launch is the most important part of your entire career, because how you launch something is how it's going to continue to go. And once momentum is already happening, it's hard to shift the direction of that momentum, right? So I need you guys to really focus on this launch. Really focus on this launch, right? The word launch is defined as to start something or to set that something in motion. You see, it requires you to apply some sort of a force. Whether that force be physical, willpower, or mental, depends upon the situation. The second word that I want you guys to focus on is the word blitz. The word blitz is defined as a sudden, energetic, and concentrated effort, typically towards one specific task. It doesn't say multitasking, focused on one specific goal and task. When you put the two of these together, what you're going to get is an unstoppable force of momentum. So how do you create momentum? I have 3 steps for you guys. 3 steps on creating momentum, right? Step number 1. Can I keep it real with you guys? Like super real?
Yes.
Yes?
Yep.
Only Starboy wants yes?
Yes.
All right, because who here, on the real, this is a builder's training. This isn't a customer training. If you're a customer here, amazing. You're going to sit in, you're going to hear some great things. This is what I call locker room sessions, chairman season training, right? So who here is really trying to go chairman?
Woo!
All right, so we got, all right. I'm going to keep it real. Some of this stuff might sting a little bit, and maybe you're able to relate to some of it. Maybe you're not able to relate to something. But I know for a fact that you're going to have people within your organization that can relate to some of this, and you're going to know how to handle that accordingly when that time does happen. Step number 1 is I need you guys to stop talking about it and get to work. Stop talking about it and get to work. A lot of us have to wait for the perfect opportunity to build. My finances have to be perfect. My relationships have to be perfect. My at-home situation has to be perfect. My living conditions have to be perfect. The weather has to be perfect. Everything has to be perfect in order for you to pull the trigger and start really firing. There's so many times that people just aim. Think about it in war, right? You see the enemy coming. The enemy's far down. Of course you're going to aim in the beginning. But as that enemy starts to near and it starts to get closer, everyone around you, the whole platoon is just firing away. and you're still aiming. You know what you're doing? You're leaving yourself down. You're letting yourself down. You're not protecting yourself. But even worse, you're letting your neighbor down, and you're not protecting them. You see, when you get caught up in the plan tends to take away from the action taking, right? You see, if you want to be a precision thinker, that's great. But those are the ones that usually don't hit the massive ranks. And I'm going to be honest, it's the entrepreneurial mindset, right? The entrepreneur that will jump off of this balcony and build their plane on the way down, right? The individual that goes through the BS in order to get to the real treasures, right? The individual that is willing to mess up. Because that, you know, so many people say, oh, I take L's. They think an L it stands for losing, right? A loss. No. We take L's as learning lessons, right? We take L's as learning lessons. You see, my biggest mentors have been my failures. So what I need you guys to do, write this down, is become eager to fail. I need you to become eager to fail. Not that I want you guys to fail. I do, but with reason, right? You see, everyone sees the breakthrough as this beautiful land that once we break through, it's rainbows and butterflies. It's everything we've ever wanted. All the bullshit's gonna go away. It's gonna be perfect, right? I got news for you guys. The breakthrough happens so you can get ready for your next breakthrough. It's not just all rainbows and butterflies. So stop trying to think that everything's gonna be perfect on the other side, and stop waiting for everything to be perfect in order to get to work. Your next breakthrough is gonna be harder than this breakthrough, right? It's gonna, they say more money, more problems, right? You guys are gonna get what it is that you want, yeah, of course, and it's gonna come with the price to pay them. And during these breakthroughs, there's gonna be lessons that are learned. And without these lessons, your next breakthrough will be an extremely tough one. You guys ever seen somebody's income go up really, really fast and then drop? Why is that? Because they didn't learn the lessons that they were supposed to learn during their breakthrough. Stop chasing the outcome and the income and start chasing the lessons and the learning, right? Because that is what is really gonna pay you. You're paid off of your lessons that you learned, AKA your education. So your income's always gonna match what it is that you know, who it is that you know, in your work ethic, right? So you guys need to start learning. Stop talking about it and get to work. Also, I know that we need to speak our goals into existence, right? You know, I'm still the same way. You have affirmations every single day. When I was on my chairman run, I'm telling you guys, I had it glued everywhere because I'm a strong believer that if you can see it, you can achieve it. I had it on the lock screen of my phone. I had the rank advancement chart slapped on my wall in every room. If I was using the bathroom, it was right there, eye level. And chairman was highlighted. I had it, bro. We had this little desk. If y'all know Jason, he's a big dude. The desk was like this big. It was tiny. We were dead broke. And behind the laptop, when we would close it, we were running off of one laptop. 2 dudes, 1 laptop. And we had the rank advancement chart. So when the day would end, we close the laptop and we see the rank. And I still wasn't chairman, so I opened up the laptop right back open. You know, we're on our phones all the time. You need to subconsciously program things into your mentality. You need to be looking at the rank that you want at all times in the back of your phone. You guys need this. This isn't suggestion, it's instruction. Because that's a form of manifestation. Now, I used to have it written everywhere, right? On my mirror, in my bathroom, everywhere. And I would look at myself, you are a 6-figure earner. You are, I am. It's not, I want to be. No, don't want, I am a 6-figure earner. I am a 7-figure earner. I am a chairman already. I already have a team of X. My mom is already taking care of so on and so forth. But I had to be careful who I spoke that in front of. Why? Because you need to protect your energy. Your energy is so contagious, right? But other people's energy is as well. And if you go to talk this to the wrong person and they shoot you down, guess what? You have every right to get the hell up and walk away. You guys don't need to listen to that. Because those seeds that are sown into the, yeah, I'm telling you guys, people that used to laugh at me, all right, deuces, I don't, who's laughing now? Max. Who's really laughing now? You guys don't need to be around that energy, right? There's gonna be people that tell you you can't do this. There's gonna be people that laugh at you. There's gonna be people that call you one of those things. There's gonna be, guess what, at the end of the day, people fail not because of skepticism, it's because of the fact that they have a lack of education. And their mindsets are so closed that they won't open their mind to that education. right? If you try, it is what it is, but be careful who it is that you speak whatever it is that you want into existence in front of. Learn to protect your energy, right? That's what I mean. So many of us are always walking around like, yo, Cash, I'm going to be the next six-figure earner. Watch, bro. I'm the next chairman. Oh, watch. I'm going to be on swipe trades. I'm going to be the best. And you're going around and you're talking about it more than you're actually working towards it. I've had a lot of people within my organization. I've been doing this for 2 years. Some of the people that have been there for 2 years, still nobody in their organization. I'm on my chairman run. Stop, man. You're not working then. You're not working. That's the honest to God truth. These products sell themselves. All you have to do is plug into, you don't even have to, when me and Emery, Darwin, when all of us first started, Terrell, we didn't have swipe trades.
What was that? We didn't have education.
We didn't have IML TV. We didn't have IML Academy. We had Chris Terry for one session a day. We had one auto trader. We had the scanner. Scanner was big, but you had to spend about 5 hours downloading it. It was hard to install, right? We didn't have any of the stuff we have today. But you know what? We didn't have six-figure earners. We didn't have the belief checks. We didn't have the fat withdrawals, right? So I'm telling you guys, a lot of you guys have it not easy, but easier than we did when we got started. You have the best platform. All you need to do is plug in and go. That's it. I mean, every Sunday, David Imonitie, Alex Morton, Jason Brown teaching us every Sunday how to build this business. You're getting mentorship from seven-figure earners on the regular, guys. Utilize that. Plug into the system, but stop talking about it. Actually get to work. Guys, and maybe this is going to hit a few of you guys, there's such thing as too much personal development. A lot of entrepreneurs will tell you otherwise. Too much personal development gets inside of your head. I've seen it happen time and time again. They could recite 1 million books, but you open up their bank account. It's a scary sight. Their bank account needs personal development. You guys, there's such thing as that. Your brain can only maintain so much information at a time. Your brain's unlimited. It can hold, but at a time. So the number one way that it retains that information is by you doing it. Think about riding a bike. You don't watch videos on how to ride a bike. You ride the bike, and then you never forget how to do it again, right? It's the same thing with learning, guys. As you guys are learning, learn this much, implement this much. Go back, learn this much, implement this much. Learn this much, implement it this much. That's the way it is that you guys should be learning. Because a lot of people just read these books, but I'm gonna be honest, to know and not do is to not know at all, right? So that was step number one, stop talking about it and get to work. Step number two, organize your time accordingly. How many people doing this part-time? Part-time. How many hours in a part-time job? 25? 20, 25, 20 to 30. Cool. Who's doing this full-time? Yeah, we got a lot of full-timers on the squad. Okay, full-time, how many full-time hours do you work in the job? 40? 40, 45, that's cool. All right, if you're doing this part-time, all right, if you're doing this full-time and you're not putting in those type of hours, you're fooling yourself, you're doing it part-time. And if you're saying you're doing this part-time and you're not putting in those type of hours, you're literally treating it as a hobby. Hobbies don't pay you, they cost, right? For the next X amount of days, set up your goals. I want you to really discover, are you being productive during the time that you're working, or are you being active? For those of you guys that are doing this full-time, maybe you guys have ran into this problem. Who here has double booked themselves for a call? Double booked? Shit. You're calling your upline, you're like, yo, please cover this for me, please. Yeah? All right, I've been there. You know, I used to do it all the time. My favorite time to book for some reason when I'm prospecting is 3 p.m. I tell everybody 3 p.m. So 3 p.m. comes, I have 8 calls, and I'm like, crap. And what I realized was that I wasn't an entrepreneur. True story. I called Jason, and I'm talking to Jason. I'm like, bro, nobody's helping me out with these calls. Now I got all these people in my upline. They ain't helping me out. I'm calling them. They're like, yo, I'm busy. And I'm like, busy doing what, bro? I'm one of your top producers, and this is that. And I'm giving Jason this sob story, and I'm expecting him to like console me, and he cuts me off, rude, and says, bro, you're not an entrepreneur. What? I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, bro, you're too unorganized. You're not an entrepreneur. You don't organize your time. That's why you have that problem. Like, straight up. I was like, yo, I hung up the phone. I was pissed off that he said that. Then that night, he comes up to the desk and he slides a paper, and it's some of you guys may have used this, called the Elite Daily Planner. And at the top, he put, an unorganized entrepreneur is no entrepreneur at all, in quotes. And slid it on my desk. And he said, tape it there. And every hour from the moment I woke up to the moment I went to sleep, I scheduled my time. Every hour. And I started to realize I have a lot of hours in the day. You know, a lot of us are saying we're busy. What are you busy doing? You see, there's a massive difference between productivity and activity. Let's talk about production and activity. Activity is what we're doing now. You need it. You absolutely need it. Brian Carruthers actually once told me, he said it. He said you need a proper balance of high tech and high touch, and you need a proper balance of productivity and activity in order to run a completely fluid business. So with that, let's talk about activity. You needed the personal development. You needed the trainings, right? You need those stuff. You need that stuff, right? The mastermind calls, the mentorship calls, the game planning calls. But here's the thing. It doesn't make you money. It might make you money indirectly, but directly does not correlate with income. Then you have productivity. Productivity are income producing activities, IPAs, right? Money making activities, MMAs. These are the three-way calls. These are the exposures. These are, can I close a deal after this call, right? If you were doing more active than productive, you were having an off day. Let's think about it this way. I want you guys to tell me this. What I did was I wrote a little graph, and I put a P here for productive and A here for active, and I started to tally all of my calls, right? So I want you guys to tell me productive or active, all right? I woke up in the morning and I did my morning affirmations. Productive or active? Active. I can't close the deal off my affirmations. Again, after that, I went ahead and I did some personal development. Productive or active? Then after that, I followed up with an individual and got him started. Productive or active? Then I held a webinar for the team. Productive or active? Well, it depends on what type of webinar. That's fair. An opportunity overview webinar. Productive or active? And then after that, I jumped on IML TV. Productive or active? Productive. That produces income, right? And as long as I had more tallies on the P than I did for productive than active, I had a good day. And in the beginning, I started to realize that a lot of my day, although it was very busy, was just very active. And that's exactly what it was, busy work. Busy work doesn't pay. So then I started to increase my exposures and decrease the fat, trim the fat. And that made all the difference. You see, when we don't organize our time and really direct our time, you're gonna forget to do the things that matter. You're gonna forget to do the things that you need to do, right? And that right there, an entrepreneur doesn't miss appointments. A chairman does not miss appointments. A chairman does not run late. A chairman is on point, right? A chairman will be there every single time. A lot of the people that are missing these calls, that are double booking themselves, that's amateur work. This is a chairman's training. We need to get our time a lot more organized. Who here actually really organizes their time? Top income earners in the room, right? Success leaves clues. And I don't say that to call anybody up, but success leaves clues. You have to be organized on every single hour. Now, I was really bad at it, so I hired an assistant, right? You guys have Siri. No, look. Siri, remind me tomorrow, 3 p.m. meeting.
Did you meet March 5th, Monday or March 6th, Tuesday?
Thanks, Siri.
That's nice of you to say.
She's very polite, too. She doesn't argue back. She's the best. Start organizing your time. When a meeting comes up, put it on a planner, then call it into Siri. You have a double confirmation. You're going to minimize the amount of times that you miss calls. Also, this is important. How many of you guys are doing this for your family? include them in your day daily. Every day. I was watching something by Eric Worre, and he said that for 90 days, you gotta kiss your family goodbye. Tell the kids, I love you, tell your mom I love you, and I think that's bullshit. How many people have heard out of sight, out of mind? Right? If your family's not in sight, they're out of mind. Even if you're doing it for them, if your family's not included in your day every day, they're out of mind. Now I look at people, I find mentorship in every aspect of life, whether it's spiritual, financial, family-wise. There's a gentleman by the name of Brandon Boyd. A lot of you guys might know who he is. He has 6 kids. 6 kids. Married, happily. And I look at the way he handles his family. And you see them, they're like the Brady Bunch, like that happy-go-lucky family, right? And I got mentorship from him, and he said, Matt, I spend about 4 to 5 hours of concentrated time with my family a day. Meanwhile, still works 12-hour days. You see, you'll have a constant reminder of your why. And I break your why into an acronym. You write this down. Your why will help you. Or your why is what hurts you. Spend time with them daily. Also, in that scheduler, it's not all work. Get time to work out at least a few times a week. Tony Robbins says it, emotion is caused by motion, right? So the energy and the way we stand, the way we sit, the physical activity we have in our life is going to dictate how it is that we feel. So implement, your daily affirmations into your schedule. Implement things that are going to help you as an individual and not just your business, because you need a proper balance. And then the last thing I'm going to leave you guys is step number 3, all out massive action. You see, we have it really easy as entrepreneurs these days. You want to create a clothing brand, you can do so online. You want to become a musician, you can do so online. You want to cut hair and become famous for it, you can do so online, right? Does anybody in this room happen to know what happened on October 29th of 1929?
Crash?
Stock market club. The largest financial devastation that the United States has ever seen. You had millionaires who back in 1929, I don't know if you guys know, but $1 million was a lot more than $1 million is today. A lot more. You had multi-millionaires go from being multi-millionaires to beggars overnight. And I read an interesting article, and the reason I bring this up is a lot of them made their way back. A lot of them made their way back. You see, it's said that if you take all the money in the world and divide it equally into everyone's hands, it'll end up in the same hands in about 3 to 4 years. Right? I think about these individuals and how they didn't have the internet in 1929 to build a business. They didn't have opportunity to connect with people, thousands of people, millions of people all across the world from the comfort of our palms. Right? They had to go out there and start traditional businesses. They had to go out there and work their way back up. And I see that, and I think, who are we to say we hustle? A lot of us aren't really hustling. Gary Vaynerchuk says it. He says the term hustle gets thrown around so often. Every event that I go to, somebody asks me the same question. What's the secret to charity? Secret? There's no secret. It's hustling. It's true. It's going into an area like this where it's just getting started, laying down the groundwork, laying down that ground foundation and building upon it and striking that hammer every single day until your arm cannot lift anymore. You want to hit chairman, that's what it's going to take. I'm not going to sit up here, some of you guys are going to hit it faster than others. But I'm going to let you guys know it takes real work. You're not going to do it focused on yourself either. You guys need to focus on the organization, right? All out, massive, massive, massive action, right? So consistency, guys. This is the last thing I'm gonna leave you with. Consistency. Imagine you have a plan. And you take this plan and you plant it in the ideal situation. I'm talking about perfect situation. Perfect light, the best soil, perfect amount of water, tender love and care. But you go on a vacation, family vacation, and you don't leave anybody responsible for that plan. You forget about that plan. You have your fun for about a week on the cruise, having a great time. You come back, and the plant is dead. and you start to blame the environment, and you put it over here, and you give it the perfect situation again, but then you forget about it for like 2 days, and then you come back for it, work on it for about a day, then stop for like 4 days, and then the plant is not growing to your liking, so you repeat that process time and time again. See, a lot of us treat our business that way. A lot of us grab our business and we'll work on it excited for 2 days, and then life happens. Work happens, deaths, people break up with people, at-home situation may not be good, sicknesses, life. And you allow life, which is going to happen regardless, and life is a way to test you, right? You're not giving these obstacles as an excuse to stop life and stop dominating. You're giving it as a test, right? And a lot of us will stop building our business when life starts to happen. And then I look at people like Steve Jobs, RIP. I look at people like David and Monite. I look at people like Christopher Terry. You don't think life happened to them? They dealt with the deaths. They dealt with the drama. They dealt with life happening. But somehow they're still successful, right? Consistency is key. You have to work this business every day. I'm not saying work it 90 hours, but I don't take off days. None. My leaders know, they hit me up. I'm already like, yo, what's good? How can I help out? What's going on? I don't take off days. Alex Morton's birthday, we go to the Amalfi Coast. One of the coolest times of my life, right? Endless wine in Italy. We rent a yacht. We're having a great time on this yacht. We felt nice, right? It's Italy. We get to the villa, and I get a call from one of my guys, and he's like, bro, I have a 6-figure earner on the line. And I was like, oh God. Man, and I'm like falling asleep type of, it's wine drunk, right? So I'm like, and I got on the call on vacation mode, got Alex Morton on the call, who's our VP, on his birthday, and we closed this leader. Everywhere we go, we are always working. You will never see me or Jason without our phones on us working. Vacation time, I'm working. Guys, and I don't know if it was Steve Jobs or Bill Gates, one of them, but one of them never took a day off in their 20s. So when I hear that, I'm like, damn, what's my excuse? Life happens, so what? You gotta remain consistent, right? You know, how many people have that friend, or maybe you're that friend that every other day it's a new day in the gym? Swole season now, I'm about to get it. I'm about to get, me too. Swole season, I'm about to get it. First of many. 6-pack loaded.
First of the month.
And then you got drinking, you have a good time, you hit the buffet, have a little bit of time. Next thing you know, you're off 3 weeks and then you come back, yo, first day back, baby. We're gonna get this body. You stop taking that person serious. Like, man, you're gonna stay fat forever. Stop that. Well, in the business, people stop taking you serious. You're gonna stay broke forever. Stop that. Consistency is key. I have a kid. He's about to hit Platinum 600. He's actually in a Darwin and Emery squad. His name's Curtis Razor Marsh. He's from Jamaica. I tried to get Curtis in my business from my last company, and he just kept on saying no. He's like, nah, brother, it's not for me. I was like, all right, cool, bet. One day he hits me up and he says, yo, I'm ready to build. I don't just want to trade, I'm ready to build. It's been a slow build for him, but he hit me up 2 years later. And I asked him, I was like, why now? Like, what's changed? What did I do different? He was like, bro, it's not that you did something different, it's that you stood the same. You never stopped working. You were always consistent. He was like, so when I thought that I needed to make more money, I knew exactly who to hit up. He's pushing towards P600 now. You never know who's watching. There's always somebody watching. Always. You gotta stay on your game 24/7. You gotta remain consistent. Because I'll tell you, yeah, it's hard. You know what else is hard? When I used to stock shelves. Working the graveyard shift. Make $1 million working night shift. So, guys, remain consistent. It's the #1 way to be taken seriously, right? So, I know it's late. I'm gonna wrap it up with this right now. Rise Convention. Who's going? Yeah, Las Vegas. Vegas. All right, so I saw more hands go up that they wanted to be chairman than hands went up for Vegas. That's a problem. Vegas is mandatory if you want to go chairman. If you don't want to go chairman, cool. But if you want to go chairman in Vegas, here's why. Alex Morton joins the business January of last year. Well, more towards November, but very quiet. And I asked him, I said, Alex, what do I need to do, bro? What do I need to do in order to hit $100,000 a month? Just tell me, dog. I will freaking do it. He said, when's the next big event? I said, I don't know, man, but we're going to create one. He was like, you guys don't have a company event? And I was like, no, when we're on tour, just people throw events. He was like, no. You need team camaraderie. You need everybody to move towards one event at the same time. He said, Matt, Jason, you guys got to pack a room of 1,000 people. I had never thrown an event more than 200. At the time, I'm a chairman's son. And the event costs $25 grand. Between audio, everything, $25,000 out in Dallas. That's 3 months pay. Man, imagine, I don't care how much money you make, imagine giving up 3 months pay right now. Right now, 3 months pay. And it hurts when it's like $10,000 a month, right? We poured everything we had into this event, and ticket sales were dumb low. Like I'm talking about like maybe 200, and I'm freaking out. When we get to the event, I'm keeping cool, I'm keeping collective, and there's 1,000 people lined up outside of the door. I was like, yo, bet, let's work. It was the first big event IMO had since Alex had joined. And at that event, they announced 90 days from there, we would be meeting up in Orlando. So I said, cool. I saw what this did for my business. Atlanta. Was it Atlanta? Yeah, Atlanta. I saw what it did for my business. About 2 weeks after that event, I hit Chairman 25, right? So I saw what it did. There was no way, that day that the tickets went on sale, me and Jason bought 100 tickets on credit because all of our money was still tied up with the event. And we jumped on planes, we jumped on trains, and we started promoting, selling, sleeping on people's floors, sleeping on people's couches, pushing this event because we knew what it did for our business and we wanted other people to experience it, right? So we pulled up to Atlanta as Chairman 50. It took us 90 days to go from 25 to 50 when it had taken me a year to go from 10 to 25, right? So then I was like, all right, at that event, they announced Orlando. What do you think me and Jason did? We bought 100 tickets to give to our teams, and I jumped on planes, I jumped on trains, I worked, I sold, slept on floors, slept on trains, I mean, everywhere. Showed up to Orlando as Chairman 100 90 days later. 90 days, guys. So then we announced Houston. What do you think me and Jason did? We bought 100 tickets, jumped on planes, jumped in cars, jumped in trains, slept in hotels this time, but we went ahead and we promoted, sold. I'm in Europe and I get a call from Khalil. Khalil's like, bro, congratulations, you just hit Chairman 250. 90 days from when I had just hit Chairman 100. I bawled like a baby, just so you guys know. I was drunk crying, so I was ugly crying. And then Vegas was announced. It's 2 weeks from now. I'm on tour right now. You guys are seeing it. I bought 100 tickets, more this time. I bought close to 200. Jumped on planes. Selling, promoting. We are less than 250 people away from 500. When I tell you guys, thank you, bro. When I tell you guys to be at these events, it's not. I make no money off of this event, but I know what it does. I've been to other company events, and it's all inspiration, motivation. But you know what happens? You leave from there, life happens, and you have no direction. You're gonna come to this event, and you're gonna learn skill sets from our top educators. And you're gonna leave this event knowing recognizing patterns in the markets, guys. You know, they just had a Bitcoin conference, $1,000 to get in Miami. I had a bunch of my boys that went. I met up with them afterwards, and they were like, bro, what the hell was that? That was bullshit. $100 to get in the door here with iMarkets Live. Learning from the best of the best, people that have created crazy money in the markets. And then day 2, we're gonna learn from the best of the best when it comes to building. And then day 3, we're gonna recognize and party a little bit. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna be coming back out to Arizona, where I'll be staying for about like 5 to 7 days. I'll let you guys know the dates. It's definitely after Rise Convention, but understand you guys got something very special here. You know, it's not very often where you have this many 6-figure earners in one penthouse, and then right across in that building over there, the top educator. You have 2 of the swipe trade masters in here. Another chairman 25 in that building. You guys have so much support, it's ridiculous. You know, there's people that aren't even on Darwin and Emery's team, and they open up their doors for you guys. Just to show y'all love so you can come through and learn, because that's where we build our teams. We've done that from the beginning, and we're gonna continue to do so. So really grasp the opportunity right now. You know, so what if you have the opportunity of a lifetime if you're not taking advantage of it in the lifetime of the opportunity? I appreciate y'all being here. It's hella late, so let's crush this thing and continue to build a legacy. I'll see y'all rise, right?